after 2 absolutely gorgeous days, we had a day and a half of rain, and we're on our way leaving Grossmorn, and we can't say enough about how beautiful it was here, and looking forward to the very tiny community of Little Bay where we're headed next. So we'll see as we leave the Great Northern Peninsula, we'll see what the rest of Newfoundland looks like. Pretty sure those same clouds were there on our way north. We just stocked up on food and fuel and other supplies in Deer Lake, which is the biggest town we've seen in quite a while, and we're headed east along the Trans-Canada to Little Bay, which is going to be up one of the peninsulas, a little remote town. Little Bay is on the Green Bay or Biver Peninsula, which sits just east of the Great Northern Peninsula. We turned off the Trans-Canada near the eastern edge of the Green Bay Peninsula to travel the last few miles to Little Bay. We were told this last 15 miles of the route to Little Bay was going to be the roughest part, so it's certainly rougher than the Trans-Canada Highway was. The town has created an RV park called Ocean View, with 4 service sites and a few non-service sites right on the beach. Since they only take cash or electronic transfer, which only works for Canadians, we needed to pay for our site upon arrival. However, we needed to find someone to pay. The town offices were across the street and had hours posted, Thursday evening from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Luckily, we arrived on a Thursday. The town clerk not only took our payment, she gave her time to chat and gave lots of helpful tips about the area, including some town history and some tea. The intense gathering of seagulls just off the beach made us think there was something they thought was pretty interesting in the water. We would soon learn what. We kept getting asked by the locals, "Have you seen the capelins?" "Don't know. What do they look like?" "Why do you want to know?" Well, the only thing Kathy knew about capelin before coming to Little Bay was that the whales follow them, so she was very interested. As the sun set, locals started gathering in their cars near the beach. To watch the sunset? No. As it began to sink in the sky, they headed out to the beach with buckets. They wanted their capelin. When we asked about the locals' enthusiasm, we were told to come out at sunrise tomorrow, and we would see what the fuss was about. Reluctantly, we got up at 5:30 the next morning, where we met a local collecting his year's worth of capelin.
Wow.
I'll salt them now. With a deep pickle. And it's 5 minutes. Put them on the plate and dry them. Put that in the plate. And I'll smoke some. I'll put them in the smokehouse.
Oh, I was wondering if you're going to smoke some. Okay, yeah.
The capelin roll in for only about a week to lay their eggs in the bay. The gulls and whales and humans all want their fill. And while Little Bay's time was this week, it was hard to say which bay would be next. There he is.
That's all.
It's probably a minkie. I mean, Little Bay is a sleepy town now, but in the late 1800s, the copper mining there swelled the town's population to over 2,000. It was a boom town. The richness of the Little Bay copper mine earned it the nickname El Dorado. That explained the name of the trail leading from Little Bay across the nearby hills. With the trailhead across the street, we decided to hike some of the trail, which traces some of the town's and the mining industry's history. So we're told that we're told once you get up to the top of the hill, it's pretty flat from there. So I hope so. In its heyday, the town had several churches, starting with the Methodist. But in 1903, fire destroyed the town. Where the Anglican church once stood, all that remains is its cemetery. Well, the ones who told us there was just a little bit of climbing and then it gets flat, it's not quite accurate. But we did make it up to the original Little Bay, or one of the original Little Bay mining locations, mining sites. And it is a nice view here, but the other benefit is we get internet and cell service up here, so always good to multitask. In case there was any doubt that this is actually a mine site, there's the cap that goes down 2,000 feet below that block. We are high above the town of Little Bay where our camper is parked. The camper's out of sight because it's blocked by the cliff, but it's a beautiful day, so all complaints about climbing this high side, couldn't ask for a lovelier day. I guess you really can't tell how steep this is, but I tried. So we started in Little Bay and then came up this kind of curvy route to the intersection with the loop, but we did not have to go all the way around the loop. We just came over here to the mine site, and now we're going back to the road to head back home. While we had ambitions of doing the whole trail, we were running into this a little bit too much. The fording the streams over and over again was getting a little old, and we were trying to keep our boots dry, so we opted to take a shortcut and head back. Leaving Little Bay after a couple of nights, we were encouraged to stop at Kings Point before moving on to our next destination. It might just have some whales and icebergs in the harbor, so we took the short side trip. Left Little Bay this morning and had, on their recommendations, came up to Kings Point. Their bay is deeper, and there's supposed to be more whales that you can see from shore, but not that we've seen those. But we're going to explore the little town and maybe get a bite to eat. So no whales in Kings Point. They obviously have a lot of whale pictures though, so I'm guessing that if we'd come a little bit later in the year, maybe when the capelin were rolling here, we might have seen some. Driving further east on the Trans-Canada, it was easy to see the high water in the lakes along the route. This would become even clearer as we pulled into the Falls View campground in Bishop's Falls. The town and campground earned their name from the spillway and hydro plant that harnessed the Exploits River. Before a train trestle was built to span the river, its turbulent waters effectively cut the island of Newfoundland in two. So we were going to take a non-service site here at Falls View Park, and the non-service sites are in the green fields down below, and you can see the water raging out of the spillway and the power plant. So visions of talking to locals, this amount of water is unprecedented. The lakes upstream are full, and they need to let the water out. So we felt a little bit more comfortable when we found that there was a non-service site here up on the hill. So we moved up here. But it's an impressive amount of water coming out of the vents from the power plant. You can see a little bit how high the water is, and you see right down here this picnic table is underwater. So. This is a place where a lot of locals go salmon fishing, and We were told that the force of the water is so high, the current's so strong, the salmon can't make it upstream at this point like they normally do. Locals are entitled to exactly 2 salmon. And that's a way to stay cool, is you put your bench in the water and have a seat. We had the chance to meet up with Val and Graham again at the nearby Notre Provincial Park. Our last-minute change of plans was rewarded with a beautiful waterfront site and more time with our friends. The weather has warmed and the bugs know that, so our bug nets are deployed and they're very effective. 2 loons just came to visit and jumped right back in, dove right back into the water, and I missed them. They're beautiful. We were given an unwelcome send-off by a swarm of mosquitoes at the Notre Dame dump station. So we were glad to move further north toward Twillingate, where we would enjoy a dinner theater and another unexpected reunion in this charming coastal town at the tip of Central Newfoundland.